Chapter 8. Chalabi, Emir, Arif, Jalaluddin. 90 pages of the volume by Aflaki give more than 200 anecdotes of the acts and miracles of various kinds of this illustrious grandson of Jalaluddin, the teacher and friend of the author, who vouches as an eyewitness for the truth and correctness of some of the narratives. The Emir Arif passed the far greater portion of his life in traveling about to various cities in Central and Eastern Asia Minor and northwestern Persian countries, then subject to the great Khans, descendants of Genghis. He appears to have been more of an energetic or bellicose character than his father, and to have ruled with vigor during his short rectorship. And part 1 official starts here. On the last day, but one of the period of the greater pilgrimage at Mecca, the eve of the festival of sacrifices, the 9th of the month of Zulhijjah. Zulhijjah is the possessor of the pilgrimage. It's the 12th month. Al-Hijra 717 are the 11th of February, 1313 of the Common Era. The Emir Arif and the historian Aflaki, his disciple, were together at Sultania in the north of Persia, the new capital of the great Western Mughal Empire. They were visiting at the convent of a certain Mesnevi dervish named Sheikh Suhrab, with sundry of his friends and saints, all of whom were engaged in the study of different books at about the hour of midday, excepting Arif, who was enjoying a siesta. Suddenly, Arif raised his head and gave one of his loud, awe-inspiring shouts, which caused all present to tremble. Without a word, however, he again composed himself to sleep. When he at length fully roused himself and finally woke up from his sleep, Sheikh Aflaki ventured to inquire what was that had disturbed him. He answered, "I'd gone in the spirit to pay a visit to the tomb of my great-grandfather. When there I saw the two Mesnevi dervishes, Nasiruddin and Shuja'uddin Chanaki, who had seized each other by the collar and were engaged in a violent dispute and struggle. I called out to them to desist, and two men with one pious woman, being there present, saw me." Aflaki at once made a note of this narrative, putting down the date and hour of the occurrence. Sometime afterwards, Arif returned to the land of Rome and went to the town of Laodikia, Combusta, not far from Konya, and there they met the above-named Nasiruddin in the presence of all his friends. Arif asked Nasir to relate to them the circumstances of his quarrel with Shuja. Nasir replied, "On the eve of the festival of sacrifices, I was standing at the upper end of the mausoleum when Shuja there came and committed an unseemly act, which I reprehended him. He immediately collared me, and I him, when suddenly from the direction of the feet of the holy Wahabiled, the voice of Arif was heard shouting to us, and made us tremble and awe thereat. We immediately embraced each other and bowed in reverence. That is all I know of the matter." Arif then addressed Aflaki and said, "Pray relate to our friends what thou knowest thereof, that they may be edified." Aflaki now produced his memorandum book and showed the entry he had made with the date. The friends marveled at this and rejoiced exceedingly, their spirits being refreshed with an influence from the invisible world. Arif then said, "By the soul of my ancestor, I dislike exceedingly to make a display of any miraculous power, but now and then, for the edification of my disciples, such scenes will slip out. Then Aflaki takes notes thereof. Such miracles are known by the names of manifestations and ecstasies of spirit. When Anya was reached, 3 friends, 1 lady, bore testimony to having seen Arif at the tomb that day, and their having heard him shout. Well, whether we're talking projections or spiritual visitations, that can certainly be shared experiences. I was unable to get any footage of my trips to the 8 caves of Mount St. Helens. And some of those experiences, beyond sharing, we knew exactly where each other were experiencing certain features. Now, it may have varied who else with me, or whether it was everybody or just one kind of knew something was going on or not, that's, different.